Recording now.
Uh, I think it's good. Let me check. Yes, that's good here. And here also perfect. Hi, Jose. How's it going?
Hi. How are you doing, Gilbert? Fine, thank you very much.
Perfect. Okay, so we are back after next week to talk about how to make friends with new people and make new and significant connections with other people. So I will let you introduce yourself again, and after I will let you maybe wrap up a little bit what we started last week, and after we will be able to continue.
Oh yeah, certainly. The main idea of what we began talking last week was the whole idea of how our minds work and how we create bounds since the very beginning of our lives. The thing is that we are social people. We decide to move to these cities, and we have people living above us, under us, on the sides, in buildings, where we have plenty escapes on landscapes where we can live by our own, but we need other people in order to have friends. We need people in order to have support, and we also need to have enemies. It's very important for us, to have enemies, or someone to compete with, in order for us to generate bonds in the society. So everything is important. Every single member is important, because we will need this assistance for the rest of our lives. Uh, we tend to believe that we can do everything by our own, making money or working or succeeding just by ourselves. But in work, for example, we have other people that we need there, in order for us. And there has been a study, and before we start, where people was asked, if they make, I don't know, 30,000 a year, if they want to make 50,000 a year, and of course everyone agree with that, but the condition was that the teammates of them were going to make 75,000, and most people just say no to that, even if it was a significant more amount of money. They compete, in order to get more money, and to get the whole idea that we need other people in order to compete or to be enemies or to do something. So when we begin, or when we just get born, we are mostly uh, not complete individuals. Horses get out of the belly of their mom, and they just start running and eating and stuff. And we need assistance to eat, to get change, to clean ourselves. And of course, we have the need of love. That is very, very important. So from the very beginning, we get born in a family, and you can call a family whatever you want. It can be mom, dad, two dads, two moms. It could be a group of nuns. I don't know, that you leave the kid like in the movies, or grandparents, or uncles, and aunts, even siblings that raise that kid, because if that kid does not get the support of other humans, it's going to die. The experience is that humans need other humans in order to survive. So from the very beginning, we need to create these bounds. So what happens with us? We start developing our minds from the moment that we get born, but it will be for the first 6 years where our conscious mind is going to grow. And from that moment, when we are about 5 or 6, just government put us some friends there. They say, hey, it's not enough with the family. It's very good. They have done a great work, but we need this kid to socialize even more. So what they do, they send us to school. Of course, we learn how to write and math and stuff, but we also learn there how to socialize. And for several years, there were discussions in psychology talking about, I don't know, it's good to have divorced parents, or a kid needs to have brothers and sisters in order to learn to share, or a single child and stuff. And of course, they keep studying that. And they keep on saying that we need other significant people in other significant contacts in order for us to grow as persons. So the first thing that happens is that government gets some kids around our houses and send us to school, and we meet them there. And some of us have the luck, to have some of those friends. Some of us have to move to a different city, for work, or just for different stuff. And we need to learn how to make friends, and no one is putting those friends there for us. And there is where the questions start. How do I make a friend? How do I achieve this difficult subject? And I am an engineer. I am a guy who can work and understand computers. In my case, I can work with the human mind or the human soul, but I don't know how to make friends. And it's something, and it's because most of our lives someone put our friends there. If they take you to play soccer or rugby or whatever, you just got a group of friends there. But now we are grown-ups. We have different likes, of course. We don't like the same things, and that's great. But how do I make a friend? How do I become, I don't know, with a lady or with a guy, more than a friend? Because sometimes we as adults, it's very, very difficult for us to establish a relationship. And the first time we fell in love when we were 14, 15 years ago, sorry, no, not we were old, 14 or 15 years old, we get in love of this girl and we don't care that much about if she was a rebel or something. And of course, when we grow up, we start looking for different things, if she has a good job, if she's going to be a good mother for my child, if she wants to have child, or doesn't, and if it is according to my project. So it gets complex, as everything in life uh, seems impossible at the beginning. It keeps on growing with us. For example, for primary kids, doing the simple math is very hard, and I am never going to pass this. But they start high school, and it's impossible. It's very hard. But then they go to high school, but sorry, to university. And after they finish university, I will never be able to get a job and work of this because I don't know nothing, in a very platonic way, if you want to see this. But there is a way that we got a challenge and we find out the way to succeed it. And it's amazing how much people I receive in my private practice saying, hey, I don't know how to make a friend. I don't know how to establish a relationship with someone, or I don't know how to say someone that I love them or something like that. So the whole idea of this is to help the people on the other side to learn and to manage these kind of situations that are very hard for us. And again, it's very easy for us to do our jobs, but it gets harder and harder and harder to socialize, even when we get older. And something that happens when you go to the retirement homes is that they don't get this bounce, or it's very hard for all people to make friends. So it's something that is going to go through our whole lives.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, let's talk about this. How to make new friends.
Okay, the first thing is to know where to make friends. We need to ask ourselves some questions in order to exactly know and go to find them. For example, it's very hard to find a friend in your living room. If you stay there, with your TV in your comfort zone, with your coffee, and you start waiting someone to get there and say, "Hey, would you like to be my friend?" That's very hard. So the first thing is that we need to go out, and that's hard as well. We come from this COVID lockdown pandemic where everyone was the enemy, because we never knew who was going to give us this disease or something like that, and it take us even more apart from what we were just 3 or 4 years ago. So the first thing is to go out without fear. Of course, we can get sick, but there are the vaccines, the treatments, and stuff, and more diseases are going to be there, in the future, and it's something that we need to stop being afraid of, taking all the considerations, of course, and all the cares that we can. We need to go outside now. Where outside? Can I make a friend in the supermarket? Yes, you can. It's kind of hard, but yes, of course you can. Now, uh, the thing is that it's very hard, to make a friend that has the same likes as myself, or that they look at me very, very strange, or a very strange way. If I start looking people's cards, in the supermarket to see what they purchase, if they are going to be good friends of mine, if they decide, I don't know, I really like Coke. So if they drink Diet Coke or something like that, they are going to be my friends. That's very hard. So the place is to socialize. It's a bar. It's a place where you can learn something, an academy, for example, where you can learn things. And for that, you need to know yourself. It's something that uh, sounds very easy, but it's very hard. And most of the times I ask people, hey, what do you want in this friend? Oh, I want him to be loyal. I want him to do this kind of stuff. Okay, what do you have to offer? And they say, well, I don't know. I am a great cooker, or something like that. And they start mumbling when they have this question. So the thing is, what do I like? If I don't like sports and I go, I don't know, to a running team or something like that to make friends, I am going to suffer. I am not going to make any friends, and I'm going to hate my life. But for example, if I like pottery, I don't know, I like painting, or I don't know, movies, or something like that. There are different places where people can go there. I am happily married for the last 10 years approximately, and I don't share my likes with my wife. I like jazz, and she like rock and roll. I like reading books. I mean novels. She like more biography books. So I have my group of friends where I can go there and discuss about this movie or this director or this music. So have a friend does not mean to have a soulmate. Have a couple does not mean to have a soulmate, but people who can share our lives with. So the first thing is where it is wherever you feel comfortable. Uh, and the second thing gets attached to this one. If I am going to be comfortable, I am going to be able to be myself, and never try to be someone that you are not. That's something that we try in order to impress people. And you can lie people for, I don't know, even a long time, but you cannot lie to yourself. If you act like this popular guy, but you are dying inside, or if you open your mouth and say, "Oh yes, I am a great, I don't know, football player or something like that," and when we go to a field, they will realize that I am not that person that I promised. So the second advice is attached to the first one: know yourself and be yourself. It's very important be one who you are, and share those things, even those embarrassing things, that we don't want to share with anyone. Of course, we are not going to do it at the very beginning. But I don't know. I made a friend in a group of people who like Stanley Kubrick movies. So uh, this guy also was very good running and say, "Hey, would you like to come with me at my running team?" Oh no, I hate that. And you can say that to your friend, and it does not have that you need to share every single interesting that you have. Just the thing that gets both of you united. But besides that, you need to go slowly. You cannot rush friendship. Sometimes we are so desperate that we try to force a friendship, and I don't know. I met this girl in painting, and I start sending her messages, and hey, look what I did, and people get overwhelmed. So we need to realize where we are. Of course, there are cultural things, and it's not the same thing to make a friend in Europe, in the States, in America, or South America, Africa, or in Asia. There are different things, different cultural things, and most of us who need to move to a different country need to learn of the time spaces. It happens to me once that I was in Germany, and they invited me to have dinner. In my country, we have dinner. We say, hey, let's meet about 9. About is just a word that we say, and if it is about 9, we are going to be there like 10 o'clock or 9:30 or something like that. And in Germany, they say, hey, I invited you for dinner. It's from 6 to 9 or something like that. And you should be there at 6. And at 9, the host is going to say, hey, okay, it was great to have you at my house. And we start just like an hour or half an hour later, and we stay for the whole night if it is comfortable. So we need to learn the reality of these other people in order not to offend them. There are cultural things that happens that sometimes because we are shy or something, we say, hey, I don't want to eat. And it's like an insult to some cultures or stuff. So you need to know who your friends are going to be and adapt yourself. You are a guest in their countries, and they are inviting you to be part of their culture. So I don't know, you cannot eat pork in different, I don't know, with Jewish people or with Muslim people, and you cannot bring there, I don't know, ham or something like that. You need to learn those things in order to be able. I recently read Sweden, for example, it takes to a non-Sweden citizen like 7 years to make a Swedish friend. Uh, and it's not because Swedish are so cold, as they say, or something like that. It's because they have their own culture, and it takes some time for us to learn this. So the thing is that we need to be patient and go slowly. Okay, and that is something very important. And I think that the last thing, but the most important one, is to see what do we have to offer. You know, we in general tend to demand people to offer us something, okay, and then to give. So if they are offering, I don't know, a good treatment to us, we are going to be good with them. So being a good guy is something that we learn at home. Our moms teach us that kind of things, to be educated, to speak correctly, and see what do we have to offer to these people. What do I have for them? And if they need a favor, of course I can do it. Of course, there will be abusive people that will say, hey, can you move my whole apartment or something like that? And of course you can say no, but I mean, offer your friendship. Just open your heart and offer something from your very inside. So if we know who we are, what do we have to offer? Uh, we are patients, and of course, we have something important to give these other people. Of course, we're going to be able to make friends. There are certain other things, of course, that we are going to discuss later, but this is the big picture.
Okay, perfect. Um, Another question linked to that. We every time hear that people need to be funny or not to crack a joke. Is it really needed to make friends to be funny to crack a joke or not?
Oh, that's great. Or I will change it. Do I need to be a clown in order to make friends or something like that? Uh, I remember uh, different situations that, of course, funny people uh, gets this reputation that they have more friends, or that is easily for them. But what happens if I am an introvert people, a person or a shy person, and or I am very very bad making jokes. I remember the movie Finding Nemo, and it was a clown fish, and they were always asking him to tell a joke, and he was not funny at all. And if I am not funny at all, if I try to make a joke, I will be someone that I am not. So, uh, but there is a problem there. Uh, that is the big difference. You can be shy, you can be introvert, but you cannot be rude. And most of the times, uh, since we are very shy, we act in a defensive way. It's like we build a shield around us, and we start protecting ourselves. And the best tool that people have for it is irony or sarcasm. That is a good way if you are sarcastic or something, but you are going to probably offend some people on the process. Okay, so if you are not good telling jokes, you know, it's good, but we need to have the smile, and it's something that is very human. In nature, if any animal, and think about, I don't know, from your dog, your cat, a lion, a crocodile, or any animal that shows you the teeth, is probably going to eat you, or at least to attack you. We humans have this particular gesture in our faces that tells people that we are nice and that we are not going to eat them. Uh, so our facial reactions shows a lot about who we are and what do we want. So most of the times, again, you don't need to be a joker or a clown or something like that, but you need to show people that they can come next to you and you are not going to hurt them in a party. But most of the times we act defensively, and 75% of our languages are body languages and not speak or spoken, sorry. So if I go to a party and stand with my arm crossed, looking down, not smiling, probably no one is going to come to talk to me, because they say, hey, this guy does not want any friend, or something like that. So the smile is very important. Look people in the eye. If you cannot do it, just look at the forehead when they talk, and just relax. So same thing. I am not a good dancer. I love to see people dance. I really do. When they dance, I feel happy. I watch movies like La La Land and Grease and stuff. I tend to say to my wife that she's a great dancer, and uh, I love to see people dancing. But when I try to dance, I am like a rock. I do these kind of movements. Feel so stupid in my inside. So yeah, I need to be John Travolta or I'm kind of old, Ryan Gosling in order to dance, or I can just have fun, and move myself a little bit, just smile, and be myself again, not trying to be the most funny guy. Uh, Only in movies people are professional dancers. Most of us just move our bodies as we can. So if you're in a party and everyone is dancing, you can do your best and just try to go through the situation. Now, someone is going to establish a contact with you, but if you are thinking on your fails, you are not going to listen at them. You know, and it happens a lot with this that we have discussed it before. That is the burnout syndrome. People that get burned in their jobs, for example, because they have a very uh, repetitive and insignificant, or they feel that they're insignificant at their workplaces. So they just stay there, sitting in their computers, looking at the computers, and regretting themselves. I should have done this and that. Of course, no one is going to come to us, and if someone come to us, we are going to think that they are just laughing of us. The whole group of people at work is making joke of us and that they don't want to be friends. So always look forward, for people, and try to be, uh, empathetic and show this sympathy with other people.
Great, thank you.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
linked to that, do we need people who share everything with us as friends, or maybe just a part of our lives? It's a question somebody everyone asks every time. Do we need people like us 10% of the time, or just for few activities? What should we look for in a friend about it?
Oh, it is great. You know, we always need people. Let's start with that. Uh, and even though we know people who just live their whole lives avoiding human contact, and you can see that in those places. And I think uh, what will happen? I don't know if Frank Kafka have some friends, someone to share his misery, or something like that. You know, he will probably not feel that bad, or I don't know. I really like reading, but I think on Hemingway, he will probably not drink that much if he had more friends, or something like that. It is something that we really need now. It is not only about activities. Okay, activities are like the trigger that we are going to use in order to make more friends. Now, another thing that I always keep on thinking is what happens with our friendships that we used to have, because uh, just picture yourself as a kid. You probably used to have your group of friends, and one day, I don't know if it was summer, winter, or something, you just play with them for the last time and never play again. It's like a very sad picture. And these guys were, like your buddies, your brothers. you know but one day, one afternoon, you just play with them for the last time of your life, and you never play again. And we human are monkeys, and if you can see monkeys are playing all day long. They trick themselves, they play with themselves, and they live, of course, in communities like we do. So the activities are important, just to do this, but it's not the only thing. But just sitting there, and listen to someone who has a personal crisis, or that something is not going well in their lives, it's creating a significant bond with this person, but there is always an activity, drinking coffee is an activity. Sitting, next to each other in a park is an activity, so activities are going to be there, but it's what we do with those activities, what happened, because people come to my practice, of course, when I start, hey, you should go there. And they say, hey, I go to the gym every single day. I am getting very fit, on this, but I don't have friends, you know. Yeah, of course, you go to the gym, but it's what you do with this activity what is going to give you the friends. So and you can see this guy going with the headphones to the gym, you know. They just don't look at anyone in their faces. They make their whole routine, stay there for an hour or two. They are most of the times huge guys, but they never speak with anyone, not even with the professor there. So you need to talk to them, in order to make friends. The activity is going to just be the trigger, something that you like, something that you enjoy, and something that and you can share. I don't know. Now, and it happens a lot with young people. Uh, they grow on they grow up with technology, and they consume it a different way as we're used to. And I don't know, these guys who likes anime or video games, the nerdy idea of the 80s that now it's so on. Uh, and of course, they like to speak about video games. And if I find you and I say, hey, have you played, I don't know, the last video games, you say, hey, I did, and of course, we are going to start creating relationships from there. So the activities are just a trigger that are going to take us to a place. But of course, we need to talk. That is one of our abilities that is great. Smile, again, move our bodies, look people in their faces, just giving the correct signals, we are going to make it more easy.
Okay, thank you. What
How
you just
you
talk what you just talk about make me think about extrovert people and introvert people. Is there something linked to these characteristics that can
Yeah,
help to be more friendly or not?
yeah. At the same time, that Sigmund Freud was writing everything about individual minds. He was the father of psychoanalysis and psychology. In fact, because he had a great and amazing theory about how we work individually. He has just 3 or 4 books only about our social behavior. But there was this other guy, also in Germany, Austria, Czech Republic. It was a different map of Europe at the beginnings of the 1900s. That was named Carl Jung, and he used to talk about extrovert and introvert people. He has the theory that we all share an unconscious mind, and that we think like a group of people. Of course, you can agree or disagree with this theory, but he made certain things or certain approaches that generate the big difference between this kind of people. And as everything in life, we need to practice, or we are going to lose it. I learned Italian when I was very, very young, on a very young age. I studied at 5 years old and studied Italian for 13 years. But now when I try to speak Italian, I mix it with some other languages that I learned after that. Why? Because I did not keep on practicing that. But when I was in Italy, of course, after listening people and start talking in 1 or 2 days, I was talking Italian like a pro again. So if you don't use it, you tend to lose it. So making friends is the same thing. And being extrovert or introvert, of course, we have different uh, characteristics there. But the most important is that introvert people uh, are more interested on personal activities and feel more comfortable uh, in small groups. So if you consider yourself an introvert person, you should probably not go to a group where, I don't know, 100 guys get together to discuss about motorcycles, or go to a huge motorcycle trip or something like that. You should start with a small group of persons, okay, and practice your social skills and the social skills that you're learning now in those places. And extrovert people, they need people. It's like these people that it's Friday, 6, 7 o'clock, and they don't have a plan, and they are like dying because they don't have a plan, and start sending messages to everyone, and they need to go out, they need to be with a lot of people, and this is extrovert people enjoy the social contact, and it's the people that you can see alone in the bar, and that they don't feel ashamed of that, or alone in the cinema, because they are part of this conscious mind, of this collective conscious mind, so if they are laughing in the movies, she or he is laughing with these people, and that's not have a problem. And they go to a bar and they sit in the bar by themselves, and someone comes there and they start talking, and now he has like 7 friends or something like that, and you see them, from the dark, and you say, hey, how do they do that? It's in their personality. But of course, we can practice in order to do, or to be more sociable. Now, we also have the ambivert people that are not introvert or extrovert people, that they are kind of any of them. I think most of us are at this point, where we can do some of those activities, or we can share some spaces, but we cannot just go out by ourselves, or something like that, and that's good. But knowing who you are is going to give you the tools, or what you can achieve. And I have something that is very good, that is the fear. What are we afraid of? Okay. So it's, hey, would you like to be my friend? It's like an strange question. But my 6-year-old son asks this all the time to other kids. He just go to the park and find another guy with a ball or something, and he say, hey, would you like to be my friend? Hey, yes, of course. And they don't even know their names. And they are just, hey, friend. And they call themselves, my friend or something like that. And they stay the whole day. It also happens when we were in different countries, where he, of course, does not speak the language. And he's talking with a guy at the beach, and you can see him and say, hey, what are you talking about? They don't speak the same language. Well, they are talking in a way, or they communicating in their cell in a way that, as we get older and for our experiences, we start to be afraid of, okay, to show our feelings. It's something even related to these dates. I know today is December the 22nd, and it's great for us, for psychologists, not in this case as a professor, but as a psychologist. It is great because people explode our practices. They are all coming for the same problems. Okay. I have this bad relationship with my mom, with I don't know who to spend Christmas night, or Christmas Eve. I feel all by myself. And if you can see, we get a lot of suicides on those dates. We get people going to hotels. All airports are collapsed, because they are trying to travel and to go away from family and stuff. And sometimes, it's just as simple as showing our feelings, you know. And I don't know a single person that came to me in my non-professional life and say, "Hey, I feel lonely. I need a hug, or I need someone to talk, or last night I cry during the whole night, or something like that." Most of the times, we are like very, very strong in front of other people. We tend to show them that we don't need other people. And it's as simple as that. So the exercise that I propose for this time is to get your cell phone, and it's simple as this. You just get it and find 5 contacts of people that you used to know. I don't know, from work, from one of those activities, or for something, and say, "Hey, I know that I don't send you a message very often. I just want to know how are you doing, or how important you were in my life." Uh, I really used to love when we, I don't know, go dancing, hiking, or doing whatever, and you will be amazed about the responses of those messages. I always suggest this, especially in these times of the year, where we get more sensitive because Home Alone is on TV, Miracle in Street 8, and we started watching all Christmas movies and stuff. Start sharing with people that we used to love. That's another way, to get old friends that we already know that they like us, you know. But what happens? We are afraid. We are afraid of the rejection, that they are going to say, "Hey, just keep it that way," or something like that. And 99% of the times they get amazing responses, and a new friendship coming. Now, before we end, I know we have sometimes, there is another way, or another thing that I want to share, and it's how to unfriend a friend, uh, because that's something that also happens, and uh, it's like an employee that you have, that is not productive at all. Is always late or something, but you don't let them go because they have been in the company for so long time, that you feel bad, just letting them go, but you know that they don't do anything, and it happens with some friends that we don't share what we used to share. Our friendship is not the same. Uh, our likes have changed, and we keep on having this friend there. And it's not like in a romantic situation that you can say, "Hey, I don't want to go out with you anymore," or our relationship is getting heavy. I go from one side, you're going to the other side. It's better to split out. With a friend, it's more difficult, and sometimes you need to let go old friends in order to make new friends. And there's people who is very toxic, in their behaviors and stuff. And you say, "Yeah, but he has been my friend for so long, and I know if I call this guy today and say, 'Hey, let's go to a road trip far away,' he's going to be there, but I am going to cry the whole trip because I hate this guy and I don't know why I did this." So it's like I am stuck in this relationship with this person, and I am not moving forward just because I am afraid of what is coming. Okay, so sometimes we need to cut some relationships in order to create new ones. And once you start, with this, they say, "Hey, you're a great guy. I don't know what you were doing with that guy," or something like that. Or we stop calling you because you always bring Pete to every single meeting that we have. And of course, they are going to find new friends, and they are going to be happy as well. But sometimes they just don't fit, and we are afraid of letting them go because ourselves.
Okay, great. Uh, I think I don't have any more question. It was clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Um, I think I will put in the all the messages and the chat and conversation, all the steps you gave us, like that people will be able to read it and to keep it in their pockets, maybe
Oh yeah, of
to
course.
remember how to make friends, how to make friends, or to unfriend friends.
That's right.
Maybe one last question. What is a good number of friends we can have? Because when we are talking, I received a friend request on Snapchat, and I don't know these people. I will clearly don't
Those,
accept
those
this friendship. But what's a good number of friends that we can have on the real life, not in the digital world, in the real world? What is a good
you know,
number for you?
that's a very good question because let me tell you that those guys in Snapchat are not your friends. Uh, people in social media or social media was created, uh, I think with a very good intention. And we can use it as a hammer to build something, or we can use it as a hammer to destroy something. And what social media is doing now is destroying uh, the perception or the quality of friends that we used to have. Uh, and of course, I do have friends all around the world, but I have never seen them personally. And even though I consider them my friends, and I have people in my city that I see every single day or something like that, and they are not my friends. So the idea of the social media was to create this, but we start competing in social medias. How many likes do I got? And what happens if I put this picture or if I comment about this, and they start, like making a popularity competition every single day because if I put this or if I show myself how I am, probably they are not going to like it. Okay. Or if I do have one of those perfect bodies, hegemonic bodies, people are going to like me, but they are going to like me because I'm beautiful on the outside, but not in the inside. So a very good amount of friends is the amount of friends that you can handle. You know, there are people who has one or two friends, and they will say that those are real friends. And there's people who has a million friends. I don't know, and they say that they're significant, but it's something that you can give them the time to be their friends. Uh, I don't know if you can get out once in a while and have dinner or drink. If you can send them one of these messages at this time of the year. Again, I have this guy, and I love him, but I don't see him since 2015 or something like that. We have kids and stuff, and we just communicate ourselves by social media. I consider him one of my best friends, because I send him messages once a week or twice a week, and we can talk. Of course, he lives in the same city, but we never got the time to get together. But he's still a friend. He was sitting with me since I was 6 years old in school, and he's still there. So it does not depend of the amount; it's the time that you can give them. If I can give him uh, I don't know, 30 minutes a week, and we can share how is your life going, how is your mom, how is your wife, your son. Just with that, we are friends, and there are friends that are very demanding of time. That I don't know. If you play racquetball or something, you will probably meet your friends once a week, and then to drink something like a Gatorade or something like after that, and you're going to share another hour just talking and doing stuff. So it's the time that you have to give to those friends what is going to tell you what is a very good amount of friends. Because if not, you are going to feel overwhelmed about the activities that you have now. And again, this is a cultural thing, but in my country, we start saying goodbye to the year at the beginnings of December, and we end up about January the 15th or something like that, saying hello to the new year. And you have like every single day to meet, just to go out, to drink something, to have dinner, or to share something. And you start saying, hey, I just want to stay at home and watch a movie, and I need to go there, and you are not enjoying your friendship. Okay. So it says, I can do it. I can give these friends, I don't know, the 2 hours that I go to pottery every single week. And uh, once a month we can get together just to talk or to eat, and that will be great, but if I am asking you all the time to be my friend and you are asking me all the time to be my friend, probably this is going to take a lot of time and you will have one friend or two. Sorry for that.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. I don't have any more questions. So, thank you for everything. If you
Oh,
have any more question, people that don't send me this question, we will meet Jose
oh yeah, of course.
soon. And
Yes.
maybe you can introduce the next exchange, the chat, the course we will have next week. Maybe after that we will end this session.
Oh yeah, great. Thank you very much. Yes. Next week we are going to talk about the time of the year. Of course, we all to have birthdays, and that's great that we celebrate our own birthdays. But mine is on January the 16th. When is yours, Gilbert? When is your
My
birthday?
my my birthday, yes, it was 1 month ago, 19th on November.
November the 19th. Okay, so we cannot close balances, you know, on our birthdays because it will be a big problem. So, long time ago, people decide to select a date. Okay, December 31st, January the 1st. Okay, and end up this way and starting this way. Of course, Muslim people have different calendars, Chinese people, Jewish people, but the Occidental world decide these 2 dates. Why have they decided 2 dates? Because of course you need to pay what you own. Okay, and we all agree that by the end of the year we were going to pay this. So the end of the year for me is January the 16th, but for you is November the 19th. So we all decide to do this, and world is not going to change, from one day to the other. It's not going to make any change, okay? But we tend to think that it is going to. Why? Because we are closing and closing a cycle, and we are opening a new one. And with opening this new cycle, we have new opportunities. Okay. Now, at the beginning of 2022, uh, I sit down with my wife and I say, hey, I'm going to lose 20 kilos. I am going to start eat healthy. I am going to practice more sport. I am going to work less and make more money. I am going to learn, I don't know, painting. I am going to read a book every single week. So I will have 52 books read by the end of the year or something like that. And if we go there and we check that, well, I lose 16 kilos. It was good, but
Great.
I don't think that I did anything else on that list. And I will really love read the 52 books or to see the 1,000 movies that I have in my poster that they gave me last year that I have to see before I die. I think that I just marked the one that I was already saw before. Uh, so uh, making plans and see how do we take advantage of this new year, not to get frustrated on June, because we haven't started anything or because we failed on what we started or something like that. So we are going to see on our next encounter is what do we do in order to have 365 amazing days. Okay. And of course, there is something there that is going to happen. We are going to lose people. We are going to get sick and stuff. Even though those 365 opportunities are there and are coming, so we are going to take advantage of that on December the 28th in order to start planning. And on December 2023, it's hard for me think that long in the future. We get succeed with that list of things and realize that our life was happy. You know, my grandmother used to say something. She used to say that everything that happens in the past was better, you know, and she was always looking back to her home in Italy and stuff. And she never realized that if everything that happens in the past was better, present was never that bad at all. So we need to learn how to live in the present, you know, in a philosophical way, you know, in order to create those opportunities and to enjoy them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Great program. So, next meet in 1 week to
Okay,
discuss about it.
and
And
I
thank you again for this introduction encounter. And have a nice evening. Have a nice. Uh, do you do you have some Christmas events planned?
oh yeah, I am going to go with my in-laws. So yeah, that's what we do. So it's right. Yeah, I have my Christmas tree right here. So yeah, we are enjoying
Perfect.
that. So you have a
Perfect.
nice Christmas as well.
Take care. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Goodbye.